Turn it loud. From Wales to Canada, let's talk vinyl now. Chris in the UK, Joe in the snow. We flipped through the crates and here's what we found. Albums that we love and the ones you do too. Every week a new theme, louder than it seems. Punk rock legends, festivals too. Women who rock, we wanna hear from you. Commonwealth train digging, come alive. Vinyl spinning while the speakers drive. From the grooves to the stage, feel the sound. Our world's one record, turn it up now. Turn it up now. Commonwealth train digging, let's go.
Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Hope everybody's had an amazing week. I've had gout, so it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
But this evening's kind of schedule we got going on this evening is let the good times spin. So if you had a shit day, shit week in work, you come home, you want to put some rock on just to get your spirits up and running. It's the weekend. So I thought that's the kind of conversation we're going to have this evening. Joining me as usual, my co-host, the legend, the myth, the man from Canada with the snow. It is Risa Joe.
And he couldn't find that guy, so he asked me. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello,
Joe's
everyone.
Kind of bad week because every time he cleans his front porch of snow, it snows again.
It does, yeah. Can't keep a car clean, and my lawn is shit to begin with, so it doesn't even need the moisture. It just makes mud puddles. But anyway, that's not why we're here. But yes, snow. We'll see.
Yeah, returning to the show, one of my favorite people on YouTube is back with us. It is Trevor, flat, round, and spun.
Hello, folks.
There
Good
he is.
evening, good day, whatever time zone you're in.
Yeah,
As Jim Carrey said, good morning, good evening, and good night.
That's right.
exactly.
So yeah, this is gonna be a good one this week. Just to let everybody know, there's gonna be a lot of greatest hits. I'm just warning you now. There was no way around this for me. And you'd be happy to know there's no stereophonics this evening. I'm giving them a rest.
Maybe I should grab that one then.
Yeah, possibly. So that's what we're going to cover, that kind of thing. So first things first, I want to start this off with, I usually go to Joe, but we're going to go straight to Trevor first. Trevor, you've got a competition running, mate. Do you want to tell everybody who hasn't obviously seen it? I've done it myself. Joe's done it. A few others jumped on it. What it's kind of all about.
Yeah, just a quick synopsis. Just doing a contest just to get awareness for my daughter Grace. She's doing this school participation trip to Peru, and it's nearly paid off. We're just asking, for just a little bit of help. We're not asking for. Let's see if I can do this without getting too political. Without asking for a fucking ballroom. Anyway,
Yeah,
I know there might be something.
It's the answer to all the world's
But
problems,
anyway,
though.
so yeah, we got till Saturday to if anyone still is interested in participating. There is a prize of in US dollars a $100 Amazon card, so I can we'll do the conversion if it's elsewhere in the world. You don't have to donate. That's not a requirement, but if you'd like to, there's information in the video, QR codes and all that stuff. So all is appreciated, and thank you guys for participating. That was awesome.
Of course. for sure.
It's one I really enjoy doing, to be honest, because it's the kind of competition that you have to really think about, you know.
I
but,
actually got out the map and did the math because I wasn't positive what my farthest concert away was, and it wasn't by a whole bunch, but the one that I thought was actually not the one that was. So it was, it was fun. It was great.
Good.
Yeah, like I said in the video I did, we're quite lucky in the UK because we get a lot of artists coming over. So it's not a case of like I got to travel to America, Canada, Australia, whatever, South Africa. They usually come to the UK because they like doing the UK kind of gigs because you got the Glastonburys, you got the festivals and all that kind of stuff. I know that Metallica come to Cardiff in August.
I saw that.
And you think I could get tickets? Not a chance.
Really?
The tickets were going for over £300 each. So you're looking about.
But is that for a single show or for the whole weekend?
They're just doing a night show, mate.
Oh, they're not doing the no repeat weekend thing. Okay.
No, I've got it back from my brain. I don't think Metallica have been to Wales before. If they have, back in the 90s, possibly.
Okay, I was gonna say they pretty much touched every country on the planet. It seems like
Yeah,
they've played every continent, including South. I can't remember. Anyway, that was a Jeopardy question. Which band played every continent? They were the answer. But anyway, I digress.
In one calendar year. Calendar year. Yes.
Yeah, they played at I don't know. I think they played somewhere. Was it South Pole? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, Chris.
Sponsored by Coca-Cola. They did the North Pole.
Yeah.
So, Trevor, what have you been up to? Obviously, apart from the competition going on, what have you been spinning? Have you spinning anything? Any pickups? Anything at all?
Something you and I were talking about, and I'm probably going to do something a bit more in depth in the near future. This band out of Portland, Oregon, called Grand Folia, and the title of the album is Yesterday's Cul-de-sac. You could barely see it on the back of this bike here. Cool band. My friend Beth, who owns Atomic Genius Record, turned me on to these guys. Indie band. I want to say, without it sounding cheesy, they kind of have a feeling of what is now known as yacht rock, but back in the day, kind of like a 70s adult contemporary with a bit of edge to it. And the vocalist, I believe his name is Isaiah, fantastic vocalist. Oh my God, especially when he belts it out. Jesus Christ, it blows my mind. So so Grand Folia, I've been playing this a lot, streaming it a lot. But yeah, cool stuff, Grand Folia.
I actually took a screenshot and I sent a message to Joe and Daryl saying, Trevor's recommended this album. You need to go and check it out. Yeah.
And then how the hell do you pronounce it? But
yeah,
Grandifolia.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent. No, that's good. That sounds interesting. Yacht rock with an edge. I like it. I think that might be all right.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they don't get offended by that term. But like I was telling Chris earlier, it's the way I describe it, it's like new but familiar at the same time. Kind of like with Black Tea.
Right.
It's new music, but there's a familiarity to it that makes it very comfortable.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I get that. Yeah, definitely. So I will check it out for sure.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Joe, how's the shop? What have you been up to this week, mate?
The shop has been okay. There hasn't been a lot of videos in the last little while because we're doing a big ass renovation in there. So we're going to have a grand reveal. I did one, I guess, new releases coming in last week, and that was about it. But we've kind of revamped the whole place, and we've moved the record section into its own new place, new paint on the walls, all that. Not that matters. You're not there for the decor of a record shop. You're there to see the records. But so that hasn't changed. I'm really looking for a new collection. They've dried up for me in the last little while. There was a time where it was like, hey, I've got some. Hey, I've got some. And that hasn't happened for a while, at least not a big one. There's been a couple smaller, like 30, 40 ones, but I need about a 500 or so, something like that, just so I can kind of fill up a couple of bins with some new stuff again. We've got lots of great repeat customers, and you have to keep doing that. It's good and bad. It's unfortunate because you buy a collection and let's say you buy 500, there's probably 350 to 400 that'll probably move. And there's going to be 100 that are just going to be dead, but to get it at a good price, you buy all 500, et cetera, et cetera. I've talked about that before, but that just means that extra 100 has to kind of keep finding a place to be or whatever. And then you end up where you've got all this stuff, but I know that there's some places they just kind of give some stuff away. And we've started to do that a little bit. There's a promo that I think I'm going to do, all that you can carry for $10. So you have to kind of hold them like this. I saw another store do it, full disclosure. And they're not giving away the good stuff, all you can carry for $10, but they're giving away the dollar bin stuff. But why not? It gets you a little social media because you post people trying to carry a whole bunch of records at one time. And, it's just good. Plus, it gets rid of stuff because I don't want to just give it away. I mean, I don't mind giving it away. I don't want much for it. But if I get $1 a piece for them or whatever, and they get into the hands of people who want to listen to them, because there's some decent stuff in there still. It's just I've only got so much room in the bins, and I'm trying to purge a little bit. So that was the long answer of how's the shop been, but okay. And I've been okay. Like you said, it's snowing, but it's not that bad. I shouldn't say that. You watch House Hunters International when they talk about people moving from Canada anywhere. It is always like the 6-foot snowstorm because that's all that ever friggin' happens here. 90% of the time it's beautiful here, including in Regina. Well, not 90%, but I mean, obviously the winter is shit. But when it's supposed to be nice, it's usually nice. It's just kind of crappy. It's our long weekend this weekend. Was looking forward to doing some yard work, getting some things accomplished. That didn't happen, but just more time to hang out with my buddies this afternoon. So that's a good thing.
Cool. Well, have you been spinning anything this week, Joe?
I have been. There's a big stack of them over there. I'll probably do things that I got in the last little while, but I picked up the Foo Fighters, and I'm not positive of it yet. I've listened to it once. It's different. It's different for the Foo Fighters, but it's not at the same time, if that makes sense. It doesn't hit me like Hero, and it doesn't hit me like that stuff, but that's probably not what Dave was shooting for, right? It's not supposed to be the Foo Fighters of 20 years ago. It's supposed to be the Foo Fighters currently. And I got to listen to it a little bit more. I picked up some Samantha Fish, which was cool. And what else did I get new? Yeah, there's some other stuff. I'll probably do a things I've bought in the last while video, because yet again, I have bought too many. And now I'm looking up that one that Trevor just mentioned. It's not at my supplier, but you probably got to go direct to Bandcamp or something on that one, Trev.
They don't even have a Bandcamp. We'll talk after.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll do like we did with Black Tea, where you got to talk directly to the band, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, Black Tea.
I see that.
It's such a good album, man. I listened to that again last night. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but it really is, because you're right. It is very familiar, but yet updated, just good stuff. And they're coming here, well, home, which is here in Regina. They've got a show on the 13th of June.
Should we just do it all together at this point?
Yeah, sure.
Should we just do it all together at this point?
There you go. So there you go. There's the promo.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dawson will be happy if he ever watches.
Get a screenshot of that and send that to the guys.
Yeah, they've got a show coming up here in the next little while. They've actually been touring a fair bit and getting a little bit more traction. I don't know if radio traction means you're doing well or not, but they have been getting a little bit more of that. You see all their posts, so they've been promoting that.
Yeah, just the fact that they're hitting like top 10 on these radio stations is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. It's good.
And they're not, they're, as far as I know, they're independent. Purely.
They are. Yeah, for sure. They're not with a label, so they're not getting that type of promotion. They've been out with some bands, but nobody big, like not a big Canadian tour where they've opened up for, a larger act. They've opened up for some others and done some of that. But I we give them another year or so, and I think that many more are going to know about them as well. I also picked up, well, I haven't, I've ordered it. It's coming. Social Distortion, which I think, Trevor, you're probably a fan of. I don't know if we've ever discussed Social D at all. Yeah. I've heard the one song. They were on Kimmel or something, and I saw that. I haven't streamed the whole thing. I like to get it and then listen to it. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I picked up another band called, which again is on order, but not in, Crownlands. It's a duo from Canada. They listen to a lot of Rush, and they listen to a lot of that when they were younger. And it's the influence of that, and which is not a bad thing if that's what you're into, but like they've got the 15-20 minute songs sometimes, not all of them, but very, very proggy, but very good. I saw them open, believe it or not, for Kiss. Actually, it doesn't make any sense that they opened for them. Well, it doesn't because they're a Canadian band, so they took them out on tour, but they opened for them on the final tour in Saskatoon when I saw them. So, and they were really, really good. Again, just a couple guys making a lot of really good noise, guy on drums and then a guy on everything else, basically. So, because you can't find it, nobody's found a way yet to have the keyboard right beside the drums, so the drummer also plays the keyboards. You can have the guitar hanging on your neck and do a little keyboards and then go back to the guitar, but I haven't seen a drummer playing keyboards at the same time. I'm sure someone has done it somewhere, but
I've got a band recommendation for this week that I discovered recently. It's called Nick Earl and the Reckless Hearts. It's cool. It's really good. I've been playing it a lot. In case you're wondering, I discovered them on Apple Music. It came up as a recommendation on the Discovery kind of tab on there. And there they are. That is them right there. Young group, but I highly recommend. The only vinyl available at the moment is the new one that's coming out, is the live one. The rest of the albums aren't available, but they're on this store. So I sent a message to Joe. I was like, can you supply any of this?
Nope. You can get the live one from them, and I sent them a note. I haven't heard back from them yet, but Canadian band, which is kind of cool. Produced by or on the label that was started by one of the Emons brothers from the Glorious Sons, which have really started to kind of put their fingers into a lot of different stuff. Things that sound dirty but aren't, because they've got a couple of different separate acts going on. You know that Brett's got his Johnny Shambles thing going on. Eddie and the Dirty Boys is his brother, and that project that they're doing. They're still the Glorious Sons, but they're producing, they're writing for other artists, and they're just doing a lot, which is kind of cool, because huge fan of those guys, always have been. So
cool. All right, okay. So yeah, we're gonna show you some rock this evening. Kind of that's the whole theme of this. So you've had a crap week or whatever, you got home, and first person that came to mind was Trevor. I was like, well, we need to get him on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've all hung out.
It has, yeah. So we'll have Trevor's our special guest, so we will have Trevor to go first this evening. So the floor is yours, mate. What is your first choice?
Now I got my new setup here. I got to pull out before we, throw on records. We got to have a drink here. So I saw this at the store this morning, and I'm like, this will be good.
Hard pineapple whip, yeah.
We'll crack this open real quick before we throw on some records. And
I like the fridge beside you as well. That's cool.
It's easy access, baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's good. Anyway, so let's get the obvious one out of the way here. First band that I really fell in love with, and it's already showing right now on my chest. And we're gonna go. You wanted the best, you got the best. The hottest band in the world, Kiss. Alive 2. Actually, I do prefer this over Alive. I know that maybe a hot take, controversial or anything, but I've always liked those first 3 sides. And plus the artwork, the coolest picture of Gene Simmons ever.
Yeah.
Just look at that. Is just incredible. I mean, as a kid, I thought that was like the most insane thing ever. And then to go with Joe's Rule, we got
a rule,
famous. So at the LA Forum, recorded in '77 on the Love Gun tour. Throw that on after a shit day. pour a glass of something or open a can of something and sit back and listen to some of the greatest rock and roll ever.
Well, while we're at it, I might as well just do this because I had the first one in my list. Now, I probably I think I like this just a little more just because it came out first, but I love 2 as well, just because it's got the songs from Destroyer and Love Gun and Rock and Roll Over, which are probably my, if you made me pick my 3, those would be my trilogy as far as Kiss goes. The first ones are great. And, you know, I go back to that very first one from time to time and listen to it and realize that it is very good. There's the old Ticketmaster, screw you, Ticketmaster stub in there. But here, I'll do this. There we go. So this was the, let's see. I think this was, no, this was the Alive 35 tour. I thought this was the farewell tour in 1995 or whatever the hell it was, but the ticket for it. But yeah, it's just, it's just good. And there's all the, you know, they did this in the studio, they did that in the studio, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a rat's ass. It's just fun. It's just good. I can put it on. I am familiar with it. I love it. 100,000 years, the drum solo in 100,000 years, just put that on. And, you know, a lot of people gave Peter Criss for not being that great of a drummer. They gave him shit for that. And I thought he was a fantastic drummer. But I think the people that knew he was that. It's the same people that give Ringo shit for being a lousy drummer, right? But yeah, and then these dudes on the back, they every once in a while it pops up their current picture, and they've still got the banner, etc. Right? So,
right.
But how cool would that have been to be those guys? That would have been pretty awesome. So
exactly. Well, funny enough that you brought up the Alive 35. If you want to hold the back of that album again,
yep.
I saw the Alive 35 in that room right there.
Right there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. And then you were at the Tiger Stadium show, right? Were you not? Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. You know, last year Oasis came back, and I'm an Oasis fan, but not that huge of an Oasis fan. But, you know, there was conversations of, oh, this is the greatest reunion ever. No, the greatest reunion ever was the fact that these guys got back together, put the makeup on, and went back out there just to make a whole bunch more money for Gene Simmons. But really, I think there was more, there was more people that went, holy shit, I never thought that would happen than Oasis doing it. And all power to Oasis, but I think it was a bigger deal when these guys put it back on and did that tour and whatever they did.
And I do have to say that Tiger Stadium show, when, well, the band Sponge went on first, we missed them.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains were the main support. So it got a bit later. It's an open stadium. So, you know, they waited till almost 9:30. It was getting dusk.
Sure. Yeah.
The house lights go out. 2 helicopters with spotlights fly over the stadium, shining on the people. I'm already goosebumps.
Goosebumps. Oh, for sure. Yeah, exactly.
It was that place. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone had like one of those like earthquake meters if they found that the earth shook on that block.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
and that was even before a single note even was played.
Yeah, and then pull the curtain down and away you go. So yeah. I mean, again, I take nothing away from Oasis or even like the Eagles when they got back together, but those guys getting back together, putting the makeup on and coming back out and doing a pretty damn good tour. That's the thing, is they were still kind of prime time at that point. They weren't phoning it in at that given time. So, you know, maybe 20 years later, they kind of phoned it in, but that last show that I saw on the last tour was pretty amazing. It was the most Kiss show of the Kiss shows that I saw. And I think you know what I mean. Like, it had the biggest fireworks. It had the biggest blow up guys on the side. It had all of the stuff that you went to a Kiss show for. And I know lots of people hate them, but too bad. I like them.
I didn't go the last several tours just because the last 2 tours I did go on, they were greatest hits.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. I know you like greatest hits, but
there it is.
But for a diehard, it was just like, okay, I've heard all of these songs a million times live.
Yeah.
You know, throw a bone or two to the diehards, you guys got like 20 albums worth of material. I mean, and you got competent players in Eric Singer and Tommy Thayer. I'll give them that much credit.
Yeah.
They could do, 2 or 3 deep cuts that people like the diehards would be like, oh my God, I can't believe they're playing that.
Right. Like pull
Alice
something out
Cooper
of
does
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
He does. I'm hoping for one more AC show at some point. I hope. Anyway.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Just to be part of the crowd here.
There you go. Yeah. Part of the cool kids.
Man.
This is the only Kiss album I've got. So yeah, I know. It's okay.
We need to fix that.
Yeah, I am going to fix that. Trust me. When I see it, I'll pick them up in record stores. That is my plan going forward. But I just wanted to get started with them when I started collecting, kind of lockdown time. And I was like, well, what's this Kiss all about?
Yeah.
I knew a few of the songs, but I didn't know all of them, if that makes sense. Because you've heard of the band Kiss, but it's kind of why are these guys wearing makeup kind of situation going on here. But so I started there. My collection has continued to grow on Greatest Hits, but I have started buying albums, so I will say that. Sorry, Joe, I forgot.
There the boy. There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I haven't seen the inside of that record, but I have seen that photo.
That's the one. I think that's in. That was at the parade where they went to the high school and stuff.
No, that's even earlier than that.
Oh yeah.
They were in the Alive.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go.
At that point,
they were.
Yeah, I'm not reading what it says at the bottom because I can't even see that.
Oh geez.
Okay.
So yes, Kiss. There you go.
Well,
it's just good fun to put on. It's not deep writing but it's good. They didn't sell all the albums.
Joe, it's rock and roll.
Exactly. Very good.
Right, mate. Do you want to have a look at the comments, see what's happening there?
I do. Let's see. Speaking of a Kiss fan, there's our good friend Richard. I know he's a Kiss fan as well. He's been to a couple of the shows. And then we've got also Adrian with us. Hello, Adrian. Nice to see you. Saying hello to Chris. And then as they do, saying hello to Trevor and I. Let's see. What do we got? Mike saying, was it the MTV Unplugged performance that led to the reunion? Yeah, for sure. They realized that they could actually spend just a little bit of time together. And really, the bottom line was, let's make some more money. I think, and it's unfortunate because that shouldn't be the driving factor, but it certainly was. And then they made a whole shitload of money because of it. But and that's a good Unplugged, actually. I like that. Like the 2,000 Man that they do.
That, I'll be frank. I was kind of disappointed that they chose that for an Ace.
For everybody?
I mean, they could have done Shock Me or Talk to Me or something like that.
Yeah, I like I said, I like that song. I like the way they do it, and I thought it was good. So, what else have we got? We've got Adrian saying hi to Richard, Richard saying hi to Adrian, and then we've got Boz. Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. You may admonish me. No, that's okay. Better late than never, as they say. And Mike, hello, Mike. Okay, so I think we're caught up.
Yeah. I know Boz is a big Kiss fan as well.
Yeah.
So he's got variants coming out of his ears at this point. But it is my plan to get into Kiss. There's a few bands I want to get into, but Kiss seems to connect with me a lot.
Good.
Right, because it's rock and roll. I just love rock and roll. So.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I know a lot of people, shit on them because of because it's just nonsense. Keep it simple, stupid. It's like, but it's just fun.
Yeah.
You're not looking for a virtuoso of a band. No, it's just fun rock and roll.
Well, and imagine you're a 12-year-old kid sitting there on Halloween night, and then all of a sudden they come on the Paul Lynde Halloween special, because that's where it was for me. That was the that's where it started, and it was like, holy shit, what is that? That's awesome. And then it just went from there. So and Simmons, I always knew Gene was a bit of a knob, think a bit of a knob is like
No.
a statement, but and he's out touring with his band. I have no desire to go see. And you know what? They probably do some deeper cuts. Like it's probably a different set.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and this is me going in defense of him. What a lot of times what you see on TV, especially in interviews, he is a character.
Yeah.
I mean, even without the makeup, what you see, the sunglasses and the cliche sayings that he likes to do, that is a character. If you look at what he has gone through, especially in his childhood,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would crush most people. So I get it. People get turned off by the surface character of it, but behind it, there is a good guy. There.
Sure. It's like in it's like in WWE. There's the heels and there's the heroes, and or whatever it is, and it's all part of it. And it's a
Baby
big part of
faces.
it. So
Baby faces, mate. Baby faces.
So his son and Paul's son have
I'm
something.
just
going
about
on.
to say that. I was just
Yeah.
about to do the gateway. Go on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Simmons Stanley or Stanley Simmons or whichever
I
order
think
they
it's
put it
Stanley
in.
Simmons, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not bad. It's different. It's definitely, they're not going, oh my God, our dads are in Kiss and this is what we sound like and this is what we want to be. It stands on its own. It's pretty decent. So we'll see what happens with it anyway.
Funny enough, I was listening to that on the way back from Costco today, the two songs that they got available, and yeah, it's good, and they're not trying to be like their fathers.
No, exactly. Because nobody's gonna be, right? That's the thing.
I bet you one thing though the dads will help them out with is the merchandise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and then was it what is Paul's son? What's his name?
Evan? Is it Evan?
Evan, yeah, that's it. The second song, the one that has more of like the blues slide guitar in it, he gets into that upper register where it does kind of sound like Paul.
Yeah.
In a way. But hey, what are you gonna do? I mean, hell, Julian Lennon sounded like John, so
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know
no.
what? Exactly. If I sounded like Paul Stanley in his prime when he's singing, I'd be singing too. It's like the guys that give David Coverdale shit for sounding like Robert Plant. Well, if I sound like Robert Plant, why am I not going to? Or even the kid from Greta Van Fleet. Again, if I'm going to sound like Robert Plant, why am I not going to sing? And I'm just going to probably lean into it a little bit, but I don't know. Anyway, the new Christy Minstrels. Here, hold on there. Yeah. I think we've all got one of those in our catalog somewhere, don't we? Maybe not. I'm not sure. So anyway, where are we? Where were we? What's going on?
I showed Kiss.
Oh yeah, right. We all showed Kiss. Okay, and that's our time. Thanks
So,
everybody for coming.
We could have just done a Kiss episode.
Now, now is that just one round, or is that
Yes.
just like okay?
yes.
Yeah, so you're up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, since I'm mostly known for, nice fun, very friendly, fuzzy stuff.
Light music, yeah.
Another one that helps me a lot, and I've actually told half this band that it's helped save lives. I saw these guys in 1999. Big fan of them in the 80s, and that is Stormtroopers of Death, Speak English or Die. It's just one of the more politically incorrect albums ever to hit wax. I was telling the bass player Dan Lilker and the singer Billy Milano how much this has saved lives, because instead of me going out and punching people in the face, I would listen to this, and that would relieve me of all that tension. This was one of the first crossover hardcore and metal together side project of the guys in Anthrax, Scott Ian and Charlie Benante. 30 minutes of just pure aggression and, like I said, politically incorrect humor. So
I'll have to check that out, Trevor.
it's fun stuff. It's from 1985, so yeah, we're talking 40 years old plus. And yeah, this was like they had leftover time when Anthrax were recording their album Spreading the Disease. They had time left in the studio, so they whipped out this 30 minutes of 25 songs I mean, the songs are super short, so good stuff. So
Awesome.
Stormtroopers of Death.
I'm not going to ask the question. What kind of music is that? I'm guessing in my head.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
it was one of the first crossover bands. Like I said, it's from
Yeah.
metal and hardcore punk melded together.
Talking about metal, now Joe puts these in a different class completely. I was at the record shop on Saturday. There was a Rammstein box set there. But they wanted £120. So let me do the maths into American dollars, but $170. So it was actually cheaper to buy the Bruce Springsteen Nebraska album than it was to buy a Rammstein box set. So
Yeah.
it looked cool, but I didn't recognize any songs, and I was like, "Well, am I going to like this?" So yeah,
They're
what
just
do you put them down as something else, don't you, Joe? You put them down as
synth pop, actually.
yeah.
Rammstein is synth pop.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's always
Okay.
the keyboards in there. No, I'm just screwing around. There's just always the keyboards in there. So, and then every explosion that you could ever want. And
They calling them synth pop is like calling, Charmin toilet paper, made out of sandpaper.
sandpaper. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yes. Yeah, there's an image in your head now.
There you go. Hey,
brings me
I
back
like
to
to paint a picture.
yeah, brings me
Very
back to
nice.
brings me back to my school days. The toilet paper in school was more like sandpaper. Right, cool, good choice, Trev. Really cool.
Thank you.
Right, Joe, what have you got me?
All right. Okay. I talk about these guys a lot, but you know what? That's what this show is about sometimes, is just because they're just going to come up, and it is these guys. And this is the 20th anniversary edition of this album. I can put this album on and I can listen to it over and over again. It still stays with me after, all the years. It doesn't get old. I always appreciate it. I always enjoy it. It's kind of a cool, this is the 20th anniversary. It's kind of a cool wax. Yes, I'm touching the wax. Get over it. You'll live. But it's really good. I still like this. I reminisce with Joanne the other day. We were listening to it, and when we saw them, they did all of this album in its entirety. So imagine if you would, American Idiot, and then Jesus of Suburbia, and then Holiday, and then Boulevard of Broken Dreams, all in a row at a show. That was possibly the greatest 4 songs in a row live that I ever saw, and they were very, very good. There is the Inside, which is a little bit different on this anniversary edition. Covers a little bit different, actually a little more animated or whatever, with the bleeding grenade heart and stuff. But I just like this album. I just like this band. They're not hardcore punk. They are pop punk, or whatever you want to call it. They're just punk, or they're just good. That's all I'm going to say. I like Green Day. Again, they get a lot of shit, kind of like Kiss or whatever. Oh, they just make this, that, and the other thing. But they've been doing it for a long time, and I'll say it for the last time today anyway. Their latest album, Saviors, holds up to any of their other stuff. That's the thing. I think they're still making great music right now. There you go. As good as they were making before. Again, I listened to Saviors the other day, and it is a very, very good album. Sometimes we get into some bands where it gets to be, they've just ran out of ideas or what it is. I don't know. And Saviors is no great, no great masterpiece, but it's as good as earlier stuff. It's still really good writing for what Billy Joe writes. It's well produced. They're catchy. It's just good stuff. And it was phenomenal to see a lot of it played live. So it was probably that's in my top 3. I know I've talked about it before, and I don't like to bang on about the same thing, but it was just such a very good show with all of Dookie and all of American Idiot, and then a lot of Saviors, and then 3 or 4 or 5 other songs peppered in there, and just one after the other. And they all sounded great, and they were all performed really, really well, and they looked great. It was just a really great show. Really, really great show. So, that's the other thing we talk about this when you come home, because I can put that back in my mind as I sit and listen to it as well. Joanne and Emily and I at the show, the whole weekend when we went to Minneapolis, like there's other parts and pieces of listening to the albums, especially when you've seen the band live, that factor into it. So that's a big part of it for me as well. But
this wasn't planned. Joe actually sent me this,
Yeah.
and because I went back and forth, and then he sent it to me, and it's probably an album I've listened to the most this year. If I'm being honest, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So it's there they are. He's sober now, isn't he, Billy? I think
He is for right now. Let's hope that stays. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, and you get the cool poster on the inside when you buy it as well. So again, I mean, I do not write off bands as they get older or later into their career. Sometimes they just can't capture that same magic that they had earlier on. But I really dig that album. There's a couple different versions of the poster, actually. That's the 3D one, but they don't give you the glasses. I never understood why you didn't get the 3D glasses with that when they were going for the 3D look in there. I don't know if I want to see Billy Joe in 3D though. I mean, on the poster, but
yeah, I really like this album. I got to be honest. It used to be Nimrod was my favorite album.
yeah,
Because I remember the first time I heard kind of green. Well, I knew Basket Case.
sure.
Kind of the mainstream was "Time of My Life,"
Mhm.
which is
Of course.
probably the shortest song I've ever heard.
yeah.
But it put Green Day on the map for me. So, and I've
I
been a
just
fan.
like them. I just like them. So, and they
And is
fit the
yeah.
category today. I've come home and I can put that on and feel a little bit better about it.
So that's a band that I would love to see live.
Yeah.
I've seen them at a festival. Was it Leeds or Reading? But they weren't on for long. But I'd like to see a whole kind of set list of them and really enjoy it. So, and Liz likes Green Day, so it's a winner.
There you go. Yeah. So there you go. Perfect. Good.
Cool. Are we doing on the comments anymore, or we all? Caught up?
No, last one still. I prefer the new Christie Minstrels, so we're caught up on that. So
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Right. Right. Okay, Trevor, back to you, mate. What we got?
Okay, well, since you guys brought up Green Day for punk, I'm going to go with another punk band. Probably one of the first punk bands I ever got into in the mid 80s. So this is early 80s here, but we're going to go Los Angeles to Fear, the record. Another politically incorrect album, with such toe tappers as I Don't Care About You, Let's Have a War, Beef Bologna, all kinds of good stuff. But again, it's one of those things like after a shit day, I just want to have like the audible version of, punching someone in the face. So without, any context. So, this was obviously a record store day version of it, as you can see. This was from the record store day 2021 when they were doing the drops in the summertime.
Yeah.
And this was one of the main picks I wanted to get. And I got there, I told this story a bunch of times, but where I got there the night before at 8:00 at night and I was still fifth in line. So, but yeah, I was glad to get it. This isn't a gatefold, but yeah, just classic early punk before punk got all poppy. This is also during the era of when punk was feared, no pun intended. But where they'd have after school specials of like, my kid is now a punk, and so
yeah.
and parents were terrified of the stuff. But yeah, it's classic. Still around. I think it's basically the singer Lee Ving and the drummer Sticks something. I can't think of it right now. I think it's just those guys. But yeah, they're still kicking it, even though I don't even think Lee Ving is even playing guitar. He's just exclusively singing right now. I think because he was already an older guy in that scene when it was going on in the 80s. I think he was like close to or around 30 years old at the time, which, for a punk scene, that was ancient then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was senior punk at that point, right? So
yeah. And also, speaking of Fear, real quick, look up Fear Saturday Night Live 1982.
Okay.
yeah,
My God, just that was absolute chaos. And two of the audience members that are on the stage, I have hung out with several times.
Nice. I think I saw that clip a little while ago, actually. Maybe not, but yeah. Now that you say it, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Actually,
was watching
it
the
again,
band artists.
You'll see a real tall blonde guy doing like the bow. That guy actually gave me parental advice
Oh, there you go.
right before Grace was born.
Yeah. Was it good parental advice or?
Yeah. That is. Let me grab a. That was Tesco V of the Meat Men.
Okay.
Again, another very politically correct band, but yeah, he was saying don't be quiet when with the infant. Don't be quiet. Don't like try to we gotta be quiet because they're sleeping. Make noise all the time because then they'll learn to sleep through that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, that's good. Excellent.
Okay, cool. Well done. I'll have to check out that video on YouTube so I can find it. Right, Joe, over to you, mate.
All right. I mentioned them earlier, but they're up next in the pile. So let's just do it because, again, they've got a new one that is out that I haven't listened to all of it yet. But Social Distortion and White Heat, White Lies, White Trash. Is that the right order? No, White Light, White Heat, White Trash. I'm not sure if this is where I started with Social D. I was a little behind, but this is a fantastic album for me. For those that aren't familiar, it's that California punk. I don't know who else you'd throw in there. There's so many other ones you'd throw in there. Against Me, but then they were much after these guys as well. These were kind of, Offspring, I guess you could put them in there as well. It's just good. Mike Ness, brain cancer, I think, in the last couple of years, but he's come back. He still sounds pretty good. I saw them on Kimmel, and he still sounds like Mike Ness, and I'm sure that on album with a little bit of help, maybe in Pro Tools, hopefully not a whole bunch, but a little bit, I'm sure he will sound perfectly fine. Even live, though, he sounded fantastic, live being on Kimmel. But I saw them live a couple of years ago, too, and really, really good. Really, really good show. Just straightforward. I talk about Kiss. I love all that. I love the pyro. I love all that stuff. But this was just straightforward. Here's our songs. We're going to play these, and you're going to like them. And if you don't, we don't fucking care, is really what it came down to. In fact, they come out for the encore, which some bands still do. And he goes, what song do you want to hear? And, of course, everybody had their choice. He goes, it doesn't really matter. It's written down what we're playing right there. So I just wanted to screw with you a little bit. And then they played Ring of Fire, their Johnny Cash cover, actually. So, yeah, just really good stuff. If you're not familiar with Social Distortion, give them a shot. This is a great one to start with. But, Mummy's Little Monster, you can't really go too far wrong with Social Distortion, and they don't stray very far from their sound either. It's not like they experiment by any means. And Mike's got one guitar that he plays, and then he's got a second version of it, and that's all they did. They just swapped it out about halfway through, and he just retuned the one that he had back there, but it was still a gold top that came back out and played. And it's just straightforward good rock and roll as far as I'm concerned. And you could call it a little bit of punk. You could call it, it's about, if it needed to fit into a category, that's where it would fit, I think, kind of California punk. But yeah.
Well, what I will say, Joe, on the new album they've got out, they cover Chris Isaak's Wicked Game.
Yeah, you told me that, and I think I saw that somewhere else or whatever. That and it's a bit of a surprise. It's a great song. Yeah. I really got tired of it because I was a DJ at the time, and everybody wanted that for like the last song of the night. And we were a video bar as well, so it was always the video, and of course the video's got the nice looking girl in it and things like that. So everybody kind of wanted to see that. So I got sick of that song, but it is a good song, and I could see them doing a version. I like I said, I don't go and stream stuff before I get the album. I want to get the album and then listen to it first up. So, which I don't know, doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but that's the way I do it. So I don't make a lot of sense at the best of times. I thought I'd just say it for you. Yeah, I know. Cool. I'm comfortable with it though. So
right, I'm going to show one of Joe's favorite bands.
Excellent.
Now. And it's a soundtrack.
Okay. I know. Yeah, I was going to say that one.
So AC/DC Iron Man 2, pretty much the greatest hits.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
So I'll show you the inside. This is very cool, actually. So there you go. I'll go through some of the tracks. This is on black vinyl. Shoot to Thrill, Rock and Roll Donation, Guns for Hire, Cold Hearted Man, Back in Black, Thunderstruck, If You Want Blood, Evil Walk, TNT, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, Have a Drink on Me, The Razor's Edge, Let There Be Rock, War Machine, and Highway to Hell.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm glad they put the Razor's Edge on there. That's an unsung song, I think.
Yeah.
It's slightly different than a normal AC/DC song. It's a bit darker.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw them 3 times on that tour for Razor's Edge, and that was for me a highlight when they would play it. I don't think they've ever really played it since.
Nope. I haven't seen it. It's like, yeah, they don't. I mean, there's certain ones that they just don't. Like Money Talks. I keep going to see him, keep wanting to hear Money Talks, but for some reason, Brian doesn't like doing that song. I don't know why, but
I haven't seen AC/DC, but I've seen Brian Johnson live.
Oh, really?
He took part in the Taylor Hawkins tribute in Wembley.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And he came up and done Back in Black.
Okay.
And the whole crowd would just go in. If you could put a sound check microphone, I think it got the highest reception in the entire concert, even beating kind of Foo Fighters there, because nobody was expecting this.
Yeah.
Kind of, you had Dave on drums, and then he comes out and just belts Back in Black, and I was just losing my mind.
Yeah. Well, and plus, I think that was his first live gig
yeah,
since he was
with the surgery or whatever he's got going on, as I point to my ears. But yeah, I think that was, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, very special on several levels.
It was a gig I will never forget.
I bet.
I'm going to see him again in 3 months or something like that. And I know it's not the same, but it's still Brian and it's still Angus, and Angus will be playing his guitar, and Brian sounds pretty close. And I just love the songs. They're just great. Like when I saw him at Power Trip, it was phenomenal. And they started with If You Want Blood. So there you go. Back to our Kiss stuff of, oh my God, I didn't think they would ever play that. And then they started off the show with it. It was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what they've got planned for a set. But for me, it's like, one more time, what the heck? I'm gonna go and check them out one more time. And Pretty Reckless is opening, which I haven't seen before, and I like Taylor and I like their sound. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah,
They
that's
always
who
do
they
it.
had.
Yeah, the
That's
Pretty
who they had
Reckless.
when I saw them.
Yeah, the Pretty Reckless always do a good gatefold.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yes.
Um,
I don't have Taylor's butt in this one. I don't have that. So
Pretty Reckless opened for when I saw him.
Yeah.
In Detroit with Mike, who's in the comments. He and I went there, and it was a good show. I don't think I need to see them again.
Yeah.
I'm good. That was good enough for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't see it straying that far from that set list.
No, it's not. I don't think, because that was like the Power Up tour, right? Wasn't it that you saw?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think. I mean, I don't foresee them throwing anything different in there. I think at this point, the set list is the set list, and Angus will do his guitar solo, and the song he always does his guitar solo, and they'll end off with what they end off with, which they always have. But what the hell? It's close enough that I'm just gonna go. So,
where are they playing it?
They're in Edmonton, actually. So
Okay.
we're doing a bit of a road trip, summer tour around, and then just going to end up in Edmonton before we come home and see them. They're playing in Winnipeg too, which is also about 5 hours away. And I thought about it, and who knows, it might be a game day decision. Get up in the morning and go, you know what, screw it, I got nothing else going on today. I'll see if I can get a ticket and go. So
Right, yeah, because closest to us, they're doing Vancouver again.
Yeah.
That was my decision. Either go see them in Vancouver or Detroit.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
And I figured, if I go to Detroit, I could go visit and see a bunch of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Vancouver was, I think, the start of the North American leg. Like they did that little bit in Europe the year before just to see how it was going to. They did Power Trip, then they did the European stuff, then they did a bit of North America last year.
Yeah.
And then, back one more time. So,
and they're the type of band that they don't need to do, 20 shows in a month.
No.
no.
They could spread that shit out. And hey, we've been around for 50 years. You can come to us. I'm surprised they just don't do a residency.
Yeah.
Sphere. I was just about to say the Sphere.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Sphere.
yeah, that would be cool.
I think that would lend itself. I think you could do some really good things in the Sphere with them. Speaking of the Sphere, I would, if I was in Vegas, which I'm not going to, I'd go see No Doubt. I think that would be an interesting show in there as well. And I like them. I'm not a huge Gwen fan on her own. I don't mind some of that, but I think that would be a good show. I think No Doubt in the Sphere would be pretty cool.
I heard that they do some of her solo stuff.
They do a little bit of, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So but I mean, I think Metallica is going to be phenomenal in there. It'll be interesting to see the graphics that they come up with, if they've changed it up from some of the M72 stuff that they had up on the pillars and that. So
I know one person that's going.
Yeah.
Alex or Anthony, right? Anthony's going, isn't he? Yeah.
There's news of the company who owns Sphere are building one in London on the Thames.
Yeah,
supposed to do that. Supposed to be one in New York as well. So they thought they'd try it out.
Dubai.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal facility, which I'm not going to get into again, but it really is kind of the future of, and you put the right band in there, or even you don't put the right band in there, it's still pretty good. It still comes off pretty good. So
I think they probably have U2 because they were the first ones to open the Sphere, when they, if I'm correct.
they were. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, I could see someone like Oasis.
Yep.
Doing something there. God, I
You know-
mean, there's a multitude of, Rammstein could do it without actually using any kind of pyro.
Just be 3D.
That'd be no fun. Just everybody gets a lighter, and everybody's just got to light their lighter off at a certain time.
I mean, can you imagine if Roger Waters and David Gilmour actually got along?
Yeah.
What a Pink Floyd show could do.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
in the
exactly.
And then they released the vinyl on Record Store Day.
Okay.
Yes, they would. It would come out the Record Store Day before, actually. But yeah. But you're right. That would be fun. And there's lots of bands that would lend themselves to the place. It doesn't have, like, everybody talks about Tool, and of course Tool would be very cool to see there because they are that visual. But who would have thought that the Eagles would be that big of a deal there? But yet I heard that it was very, very good because there was a lot of great stuff that went on. And it depends on the band if they lean on the fact that they're in the Sphere and have way too much shit going on. U2 didn't really do that. They leaned on it a little bit as far as the visual went, but they didn't overuse it, which was kind of cool. So
Dead and Company also did a big run there too.
yes. Yeah.
And there's another one that just like, what are they gonna do? But
exactly.
Chris.
Okay, so I'm going to show a Welsh band, rock band.
Okay.
It's not the Stereophonics. It's a band, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this band, but this is the Manic Street Preachers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They obviously came out before the Stereophonics and the rest of them, made the way for other Welsh bands to come out. This is their most recent album, Critically Thinking. It's a bit different to their normal stuff, where Nicky Wire, the guitarist, is actually singing himself on the first track. And there's kind of the street they got brought up on. So, it's... sorry, Joe, there's no gatefold on this one. Pick this up from... there's the band. So that's Nicky in the middle, the guitarist. James, the lead singer, and I can't remember the drummer's name. Sorry. Yes, went to the record shop the other day. If anybody's seen the video, then this is what the colored vinyl is going to look like. It came on red vinyl. It looks orange, but it is red, trust me. So, yes. So yeah, but the Mannix had a good deal now, and I think it was about £18, or about, I don't know, $23, $24, something like that. So yeah.
That's a band much like the Stereophonics for me that I know the name, but if you were to give me $1 million to tell you one single song by them, you would not owe me a single penny. But I certainly know the name, and I've probably seen some of their stuff before and heard some of their stuff before, but just not crazy familiar with. But
Their earlier stuff is more popular. I'll just say that. For
Yeah.
the die-hard Manic Street Preachers fans, they'll tell you every single song, every single album. I'm not a die-hard.
Yeah.
But if you ask me a Stereophonic song, I could probably tell you straight away. And
Yeah.
the amount that Joe's got now.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. They're filling up this bin. They've got their own whole bin over here now. So
But I would highly recommend this album. It is a really, really good album.
Yeah.
It's different. So if you think you're going to just listen to Mannix, it's slightly different. So just if you're going to listen to it, go in with an open mind. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But I wasn't fast when they first came out, but listening to it more and more on streaming, and then I saw this in the record shop, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. So, I
Good.
like it. Cool.
Good.
Yeah, this is a band that I know I've heard them before, especially when I worked at the record store in the 90s. I know it, they got played once or twice, but yeah, it's something that I've always wanted to, check out. And now that with streaming, and now you and I are connected on Apple Music, I'm sure that it's going to be like, hey, check this out. Here's the link.
Yeah.
Trevor sent me a message. He was like, what streaming do you use? And I was like, Apple Music. Next thing I know.
Whoosh. Yeah, right. That's good.
So
That's good. It's the only problem with hanging out with you guys is the amount of money that it costs me, but that's okay. What the hell? It's only money.
but that's the thing with the whole streaming thing, and I'll defend like streaming services if you pay for it.
Sure.
People are like, well, the artists aren't getting paid as much, which is true, but I think aside from them not selling the records, I think they want their music at least heard.
Yeah.
And I will say this, and Trevor's probably the same, maybe Joe, Daryl, and the rest of our friends in the vinyl community that do stream. When we stream and we enjoy the album, we go out and buy the physical record of that album. So technically we're doing a whole 360, but we are supporting the artist then, should we say, rather than people just stream
Sure.
and kind of this attitude.
Mm-hmm.
It is an album.
And I'm a bad example because I don't drive much, but you both drive all the time. You can't play your records when you're driving, although they tried that back in the 50s. But so streaming has its purpose for A, again, when you're driving, and B, as you said, I said earlier, I don't like to listen to stuff. I don't like to listen to stuff if I've already got the record on order and I haven't yet. It's kind of like I never look at a set list before I go to a show. But if I'm out on a road trip, like Joe and I are going to go, drive around Canada again, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to, have. That's going to be the option that we're going to have, is to do the streaming. It's not like, oh my God, I never listen to anything unless I can listen to it on my turntable. I know there's guys like that, or they say they're like that, but they can't exactly be that way. But
Joe, what you should do, like in Britain, we call it a pub crawl, where you've got to kind of go to every pub and have a pint. You should call it like a record crawl, so you've got to hit every record store on your way.
Every store along the way, yeah. I know there's one that I got a chance to go to a little bit when I was there last time that I'm looking forward to getting back to in Nelson, BC. I'm looking forward to hopefully hitting up a few along the way. So
do a video, do a vlog.
Nobody does that. Nobody ever does that. So maybe I will. So
so a bit of the Mannix view. So there you go.
Perfect. Excellent.
Are we looking good in the comments there? I think
We are. Nobody's said a single word since New Christian Minstrels.
We've shut them all up.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they just think the sound of our voices.
I do want to do something though, which we've kind of tried to make a bit of a feature. So let's do this quick. Hold on. Joe has too much time on his hands and likes to mess around with his video producing stuff. Anyway, I came back across something that I hadn't watched for a long time, and I'm gonna put it up on the stage. Did you guys ever watch Mike Judge, the 2 seasons that he did of this show?
I know of it. I think I've seen clips of it, but I've never watched it full on.
Yeah,
But I'm very familiar with it. Yes.
it's great. So for those that don't know, Mike Judge is Beavis and Butthead, along with a bunch of other stuff, Office Space, things like that. But it's a documentary series, kind of, that is all animated. And this season is all about like Waylon Jennings, like the Outlaw Country guys. The George Jones one is phenomenal. It's funny. It's great. It's Mike Judge's mind talking about these bands and Tales from the Tour Bus. So they do have some of the former band members, you know, in animated version talking and stuff. So it's cool. It only did 2 seasons. I was really hoping they were going to do another season, because the first season again was the Outlaw Country stuff, and the second season was funk. So it was like Bootsy Collins and all of that, like Rick James, things like that. So it was like a half an hour ish on each of these bands or artists, kind of their story, again in animation, and told from some of the guys that were there, and again from the mind and the perspective of Mike Judge. So if you get a chance, I'm not sure if it's still streaming somewhere in the States. I'm sure it is. Chris, I'm not sure where you're going to be able to watch it. For us Canucks, we get it on Crave, which is where we get our HBO stuff. So I think it might be on there, and it might be on HBO or at HBO Max in the States. I'm not sure, but look it up. Tales from the Tour Bus. It's Mike Judge. There's only 2 seasons, and I think they each had maybe 6 or 8 episodes. It's a fun watch. It's a cool watch. You know, I like watching that stuff, and it's just a great way of showing it. You know, it's different than just old photos and clips and that. It's Mike's animation, and he does a really good job of it. So I recommend it if you get a chance to watch.
It's quite funny actually, because I had a free trial for 3 months on HBO Max, and it ended yesterday. So I'll have to see if I can.
You're welcome. There may be other ways to find it as well, possibly,
Right.
but yeah. But it's cool. It's just fun. Like I said, I was kind of hoping for another season, because I mean, the 2 genres that he talked about were great, and I could see him doing other things with it. But I don't know if nobody was watching it but me, or what the deal was, or why it didn't continue. But I enjoyed it. So yeah, Tales from the Tour Bus. It's a Mike Judge deal. So I like it.
I'll try and check it out. Trevor, do you listen to podcasts while you're driving?
I do a few,
Okay.
not a whole lot lately.
I've mentioned this quite a few times because Joe put me onto it. It's search on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from, for the Fake Zombies.
Oh,
Yeah.
the fake zombie. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
addictive.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's really good. Isn't it, Joe? It's really good.
it is. Yeah, it's a very cool story. I wish the guy would have produced it a little bit different. He can be annoying to listen to, but the story itself is very, very good, and it's well done. So yeah,
Okay.
I think it's 4 episodes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chris? I believe, right?
I've listened to it twice, in fact.
Yeah,
And then I got into the zombies.
and then you got into the zombies. Yeah, exactly. That's right. So yeah, it's cool. It's worth a listen. Again, I'm a bad example of a guy, because I don't really drive around a whole bunch, other than when, like I said, when Joe and I go on road trips. But you guys are in your vehicles a lot, so it gives you the opportunity to do that a little bit more. So
I do listen to podcasts while screaming at the traffic at the same time.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Well, it's not only while I'm driving. It's I'm at a delivery spot for a couple hours. If I'm at like one of my hospitals that I have to supply, one of them, I'm there for like 2.5 hours.
are you? Yeah,
So I could listen to an entire podcast just at one stop.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Well, there you go. One to check out for sure. Listen to the first one, and if it intrigues you, which I think it will, then give it a shot for the rest of the episodes. Because yeah, it's only, I think it's 4-hour-long episodes ish, maybe 50 minutes, something like that. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Trevor, back to
All
you.
right. Well, the last 2 topics that we got on kind of maybe think of one that go together. You know, something Welsh, something Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I bet it's not unusual.
Very nice.
At Caesar's Palace.
At Caesars. Awesome. There you go.
And we'll just get this out of the way. I mean, the man. I've actually seen this guy 4 times live. And
Have you? Yeah.
always amazing. Even the last time, I think he was close to 80 years old and still sounded phenomenal. And I went by myself because my wife, I took her once to a Tom Jones show, and she was kind of like, ew, all these old ladies throwing their underwear at the guy.
Yeah.
But no, this is a great album, great live album. His stage banter to the crowd is absolutely hilarious. And as always, just sounds, his singing is just so on top. So I think I've been through Caesars, but obviously never seen the show. I did see him in Vegas. Actually, my first time seeing Tom Jones was in Vegas. My sister got married there in 2000. And I didn't know he was playing. We were just, roaming around, and all my family are like, we're going to go see Blue Man Group. And across the street from the Luxor is MGM Grand. And I saw on the marquee Tom Jones. And I'm like, you guys go see Blue Man Group. I'm going to go see TJ. So, and it wasn't like it was a big room or anything. It probably held maybe 800, 1,000 people, and
like
it wasn't
that, yeah,
theater seats. It was all like cabaret, tall tables. So I'm sitting with 3 other people that I have no connection to whatsoever, and yeah, great show, absolutely phenomenal. So I'm glad I saw him several times, and this is just a fun record altogether. So yeah. Again, shitty day, throw in some Tom Jones. You'll feel better.
Yeah.
Take it from me.
I like his rendition with Art of Noise, Kiss by Prince. I don't know. I don't know if he would have ever done that live if you saw him at that.
Oh yeah. He always does that. Actually, there's an album from 2000 called Reloaded.
Yes.
Oh yeah, well yeah, back there, of course, because
Stereophonics were on with him. Mama told me not to come.
Yeah. And with the Cardigans burning down the house.
Keris Matthews from Catatonia was on there.
Yeah,
It's cold outside. Yeah.
I think he does Are You Gonna Go My Way with Robbie Williams.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a cool record.
The big one.
That's one I gotta look for on vinyl.
Yeah,
I look for that now.
I've looked. It's the big one on there obviously was Sex Bomb.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, great record. So Tom Jones, any Tom Jones, throw on Tom Jones. I highly recommend, which I know sounds weird coming from like the metal dude, but
hey, we like what we like when we like it, man. Yeah, that's awesome. I agree. That's great.
He's touring again this summer. He's doing Britain again. I don't know how old he is at this point. I saw Tom about 3 years ago. And I told Joe this. He was supporting the Stereophonics.
Yeah. Yes.
This should be the other way around. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm wondering if the Stereophonics guys, I mean, unless they asked him to or somewhere, but it's just like, this is kind of weird,
Yeah, they supported him at Cardiff Castle, and nobody knew that they were going to come out, and they came out and done a few songs, and then they joined him then with Mama Told Me Not to Come, and then he did the same then in Cardiff in the Prince Park Stadium with.
Now, wasn't that show filmed?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think I've seen clips. It's this like really beautiful area. It's outdoors.
The Cardiff Castle, yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
I think I've seen footage from that.
I love Cardiff. I love Cardiff Castle. I've seen so many great acts. One of my favorite ones I ever saw there. And I should have picked the album. Queens of the Stone Age. What a band. They were absolutely phenomenal. They started with Go With the Flow. I was like, let's go, lads.
That's who's opening for the Foo Fighters in September here. So
Oh, that'd be amazing.
never seen Queen. So looking
They-
forward to that.
they
Josh
are
is a bit of an asshole, but
Yeah.
I
yeah.
saw them once. It was their first record.
Yeah.
I saw them in Detroit at St. Andrews Hall, like at 800,000 capacity room.
yeah.
I wasn't into them at the time, and it's just like one of those things. Like, oh wait, it's that guy from Caius. Okay, I'll check it out. And so
The last album was brilliant. I really, really enjoyed that. That was really cool. So
right on.
yeah. Sorry, Tom Jones, good choice. I completely sidetracked him, but
Hey, we're always sidetracking. It's all good.
And I didn't mean to be rude and be on my phone, but someone was asking me if we were bringing in an album, and it is this Angine de Poitrine. Have you guys seen this deal?
Yes, I
Yeah,
love. Those are two.
Awesome.
I want to get those albums. They
Yeah.
are so original.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, definitely that. They're playing quite a bit they're at the Ottawa Blues Fest. They're at the Winnipeg Folk Festival as well, and I think they're not playing anywhere around here yet. But yeah, my son thinks they're fantastic. I don't mind it, but yeah, I mean, people have been asking about the albums. They have two. The first one was out a while ago, but they're going to do a reissue of it just because of the popularity right now. And then they've got a part 2 that's coming out. I think it's all out on June the 12th. So I've got quite a few on order for people already, actually. So
Yeah, because the footage that most people have watched wasn't shot here, but it was in affiliation with my local public radio station.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. If you're out there and you haven't checked them out yet, which I think is hard to I think everybody's kind of seen them now. And so,
yeah, I recommend listening to them.
sure.
Don't if you have like the video on, like just ignore the video. No, don't watch them. Listen to it because the music is it's out there. It's possibly not easily to digest, but it's really good.
Good for two guys. It's kind of like I talked about them earlier, Crown Lands. There's another band here in Canada as well called the Blue Stones that are just two guys that make unbelievable music, especially live. Like I can see two guys in a studio coming up with all that stuff. But then you see some of these bands that are just two members live, and it's crazy. So yeah. Anyway, so again, I didn't mean to be rude and be on my phone, but someone was just asking me if we were bringing some of those in, and we are. So
I think I discovered them first on Instagram. It came up as a short or something, and I was like, "What the hell is this?
what is going on?" Yeah, exactly. So
the drummer's nose really was like, right, "What's happening here, lads?"
And that's the other thing. I mean, to go with the visuals, that music is so difficult. And then to have those costumes on top of it, and being able to pull that off.
How can they see what they're playing? It must be mind memory at this point because it's kind of
must be
right.
Yeah. Go and check them out. They are I got to do a deep dive on this. I keep meaning to do it, but okay. Yeah, I will. I promise. Okay.
There you go.
Joe, it's your turn.
Yes, it is, isn't it? This one is a little weird, but I just went with it, and it's not necessarily greatest hits, but it is Vital Idol by Billy Idol. So it's all the extended mixes of a lot of Billy's stuff, and it's just good. Steve Stevens is a very good guitar player and lent a lot to the Billy Idol sound for sure. But so it's White Wedding, but it's the Shotgun mix. It's Dancing with Myself, but it's the Uptown mix. Hot in the City, the extender mix. So it's a lot of the dance-ish versions of Billy Idol. Billy Idol was certainly one of those that fell into the dance category, but was a rock and roll guy as well, and it just lent itself to it again. This was prime me being a DJ time, and I'm talking about me being a DJ, not Waka Waka DJ, just playing this record, then playing that record, and mixing them a little bit, finding the right beats together. Yeah, never did get into that. Never quite could figure that stuff out. I could mix like a sumbitch, but that was about it. But it's fun. It's just really, really good. Again, it is the extended mixes. So You know, if you throw it on, you're not going to get White Wedding the way you heard it on the radio all the time, but you're going to get a pretty cool mix of White Wedding. Actually, and then Moni Moni is on here, but Love Calling is really good on here as well. So there's not a lot to it. It's just the, what is it? There's 8 of them on here, but really good. And I like Billy in general. You know, he kind of waned a little bit at the end with Whiplash Smile was pretty good still. And then I can't remember the last one. And then he did one, last year came out with one, and I never really listened to it all. Had Joan Jett on there with him. So you got to give him some credit for having Joan on for sure. And did that concert from the Hoover Dam, I believe, where he was right on the border of Arizona and Nevada or whatever. So he was like in 2 states doing a show because he just moved across the stage and he went across the border or something like that. That was a little while ago. But Steve Stevens still playing guitar for him, and Billy's still playing. He is playing in Calgary at the Stampede, which is a big deal. They always get a lot of bands, but it's Took, these guys, and David Lee Roth, who I don't think I would pay money to see right now.
No.
I'm a Van Halen guy, but I'm not a current David Lee Roth kind of a guy.
Where did he play?
Billy is playing
Coachella or something he came on.
Well, Dave, I mean, you would go and you would still get lots of great music because I'm sure Dave's got a good band behind him. He's always made sure that he's had a great group of musicians playing with him, and the backup singers would sound good. But I don't know if I could just stand there and look at Dave in his current state. Not the way he looks. I don't give a rat's ass how he looks, but just the persona that he's giving off these days. If you've seen some of the David Lee Roth stuff as of late, I mean, I know he's not going to be jump off the drums, do a high leg kick, David Lee Roth, but he's kind of gone full blown. I'd rather go see Tom Jones than I would go and see David Lee Roth right now.
Hey, Joe, we got somebody beaming in from outer space here.
Oh, we do we? I didn't. I switched stuff up here. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh,
Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hey, mate.
There you go. Mike, our good friend from MGK Boston. For those that are not familiar with, check it out. Great channel. And yeah, Love Calling is a good track. Again, the whole thing is good. It is different than the album mixes for sure, but I like it. And there you go. How's the punk collection coming along? You probably bought. I know you bought a few thanks to the punk show we did.
Yeah, that's Liz.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Liz. She changes every time she comes on. She gives herself a new name, doesn't she?
So
at some point.
Yeah. So Alid has started doing YouTube videos of he makes. So this is quite funny actually. So all the vinyl records I order come with cardboard. So what he does is instead of me getting rid of the cardboard, he makes tanks and stuff out of it, and then he does kind of Wallace and Gromit kind of situation where he'll do a very short 10-second video, then he'll do another one, so it looks like the tank is moving and there's people around him moving around the tank.
Awesome.
So he started doing that, but Liz obviously uses his YouTube to leave comments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's it. So like stop animation. That's good. I love Wallace and Gromit. Wallace and Gromit are phenomenal. I love that stuff. So that's great. Cool. That's good.
Just on Billy there.
Yes.
I'm gonna make a comment that may not go down very well. But I think he is bigger in America and Canada than he is in Britain.
Yeah, you would be the judge of that, I think. Yeah, and there's lots of bands like that where they just hit bigger, even just in Canada alone. Sometimes, like Supertramp. Supertramp, I think, was Breakfast in America got them a lot more attention in the States, but up till then, I don't know how big they were, but here they were. It's like they were from here almost. I don't know. Supertramp's a little bit before your time, Trevor. A little bit, not a whole bunch.
Well, especially during Breakfast in America.
Yeah.
That was all over the radio.
Yeah. But that was their 6th album already or their 5th album already.
Well, but yeah, then you'd be correct. I was a bit too young to, you know, I was only able to hear what my mom had on the radio. So,
But yeah, Billy, I don't know. I mean, you'd be the judge of that. You'd know what it was like. I guess if you would have been around. So if you would have been around in the 80s, would that have factored in as well? Would Billy Idol have still been, you know, more here than there? I mean, Generation X, which was Los Angeles based, right? Was his?
No, they're London based.
Were they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But funny enough, I just finished that documentary last night on Billy Idol. That Billy Idol should be or should die or something like that.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
I just finished that last night. So,
Any good?
Yeah, I mean, I'd recommend it for anyone who likes rock and roll. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad one. It wasn't like one of those documentaries that you see on Tubi where it's like a bunch of talking heads that have nothing to do with the band, just giving out their opinions. No, this was with Billy Idol, with Steve Stevens, with his bodyguard from back in the day, his ex-wife, his children. I think it was Jonas Åkerlund who directed it. He's done a few films, lots of videos. He was also part of the original black metal scene in Norway. So yeah, it was a good documentary.
Cool. That's good. I know what you mean by those Tubi ones where it's like Billy Idol's mom's neighbor. They're asking them what Billy Idol was like, and they've never met him, right?
Or
there's a lot of that.
Journalists, or it's whatever.
I've completely screwed up here. I'm sorry, Ian. That is not Liz, but it looks very familiar to that profile picture. So Ian was on our punk episode. I'm sorry.
Close, then, So. But like I said, Liz changes it up every time.
I know.
I never know.
The profile picture looks very similar to Alan's kind of logo. So I had a quick come and glasses on. So I was like, but yeah, sorry, Ian. Yes, my punk is going really well. Thanks, mate. Fucking idiot I am. Right. Okay.
Good job, man.
Cool. Right. Talking about documentary that you thought was okay. I watched a documentary a few weeks ago. A lot of people hate this band, but I love them. Joe knows what's coming straight
I know
away.
who you're talking about. I don't know
It's
Trevor's
Nickelback.
feelings. I don't know if I've heard Trevor talk about. Well, that tells the story there, I guess.
So I met Nickelback. I have told the story in Cardiff in a student unions bar in 2001 when How You Remind Me was kind of out. But the one that I really enjoy putting down, that I really, really enjoy, is Burn It to the Ground. It's a good track. That is a good track. For my birthday, the kids bought me a vinyl record. They bought me Silver Side Up that I used to have back on CD in the day. And I still think that's their best album they've ever done. And it was everywhere.
It was.
It was played everywhere. So there you go. Daryl's got this as well.
He did. That's right.
Shock. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I had nothing against Nickelback. It's just, it's just the punchline of it all.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they're not horrible. It's okay. This is my hot take, and get pissed off if you want. It's like they're like the edgy version of Hootie and the Blowfish. They're kind of middle ground. Just
Yeah.
hey, if you like them, awesome.
The documentary I thought was really good though.
It was. I did watch that. I'm a sucker for a rock and roll documentary. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. Because who knows? I might learn something that I'm like, hey, okay. In fact, the Foo Fighters was one of those bands. I always kind of, they're all right. And then when Back and Forth came out, I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's when I bought because it's basically the history and the making of Wasting Light. So I got that as soon as it came out, and
And if anybody doesn't know, Dave Grohl looks very familiar to the guy who's the drummer in Nirvana.
Yeah, he gets mixed in with that a lot.
He
So I
does a
think
little bit.
my favorite Dave Grohl project.
I know you're gonna say. And the band. And I text Joe the other day to see if he had it in stock with his supplier.
Hold on.
Yeah, you said it. Yeah. He's
I
looking.
had it here somewhere.
He's looking.
Shit. Oh.
No, that's not who he
No,
means.
it's not the one
Oh.
I was thinking of.
This is my favorite Dave Grohl album right here.
Okay.
Even beyond Foo Fighters, this is my favorite Dave Grohl record. This, if people don't know about this, is Probot, as you can see,
Right.
if you can read it.
Yeah.
Think of Santana's Supernatural,
Okay.
where he's got a bunch of different singers on each track. This is like the metal underground version of it. So he's got like Kronos from Venom, Max Cavalera from Sepultura Soulfly, King Diamond is on a track here. This is my favorite Dave Grohl album right here.
What? Hold on. Geez, now I've completely gone. There we go. Let's bring you back. What Chris was talking about was, did you think of it?
Yeah. It's Them Crooked Vultures.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with Josh and
Yeah.
some dude from what's his Led
Yeah.
Zeppelin.
That band's never going to amount to anything. They're going to go over like a. Anyway. Yeah.
I just want. They've only made the one album, but I text Joe and I was like, "Can you get this from your supplier?" And he was like, "Nope."
It's just not active right now. So I think it did. I think it did well. I don't think it did crazy. It should have maybe done more than it did, but
They played the Taylor Hawkins tribute as well. They played a few songs off that album. So
Right.
yeah. Liz knew exactly who they were, and I didn't have a clue what was going on.
I don't know if we're going to get any crossover. Like, I don't know if Dave's going to play the drums on the song that Dave plays the drums for the Queens of the Stone Age. Like, I don't know if he comes out and he does that. I don't know if we're going to get any of that. And I don't know if Josh is going to do anything with the Foo Fighters when they come out, because they always do. You know, they've always got a couple songs in their set where they're doing covers and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens anyway. And like I said, I haven't seen Queens before, so it should be good.
Good. I'll have to see if I can check out that one there, Trevor. You just showed.
Robot. Yeah, it's a metal record. It's a heavy metal record.
I'm a Foo Fighters fan. I'm a Dave Grohl fan, so I'll love to. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, Lemmy's on a track too.
Well, there we are. We're in.
and the thing is, what Dave did, he wrote these songs for these singers, so the songs themselves are not far removed from what that singer is known for. So Shake Your Blood with Lemmy sounds like a Motorhead song.
Okay,
cool.
So,
that's good.
Yeah,
I've never seen that album before, so
really, yeah. The artwork, because Snake from Voivod does a song, and the artwork is done by the Voivod drummer Away. He did this. So.
It is currently, before you ask me, it's currently not active at my supplier anyway. I can't get it. Yeah. And it's weird because so when I look at my supplier, it always comes up with a genre. It's both in the genre and the pop. I'm not sure exactly how the hell it worked out to be in there. There's no way that it's in there.
The funny thing, how I got this record was their label, the label that this is on, Southern Lord. Yeah. They had this on clearance for about $15-16.
Yeah,
because of this tiny little defect right there. That little part, tiny, unnoticeable. I'm like, I'll take it.
Sign me up.
Exactly. Normally, this is like at the time a $30 record. Now it's
now it's crazy, probably. Yeah,
of course it is.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well done. Joe, over to you, mate.
Nope. You.
Oh, yours.
Does it? Oh, good. Right. Okay. So I felt like if we could talk about rock and roll when we get home, there's an artist that you have to put on, I feel. And that one is Mr. Bruce Springsteen.
I like Bruce.
As everybody knows, I didn't do Record Store Day this year. The following day, I went on Rough Trade, and there it was. They still got copies of it. So this is live from Asbury Park back in 2024. Nice. So there's the tracks for you to check out. It's pretty cool. So you got Spirit of the Night, Blinded by the Light, 4th of July, Atlantic City, Wrecking Ball, The Rising, Badlands, Thunder Road, Born to Run, Dancing in the Dark, Jersey Girl. This came on 5 LP box set. I
Mhm.
wasn't doing what I did last time with the lost tracks and didn't get it. So I thought, screw it. So I had pre-ordered the band's last. I've got it now, but I can't think of the bloody name of it. But it's the last album they did. And anyway, Rough Trade cancelled it because there was issues with the conditions and that kind of stuff. So I had credit. So it ended up I only paid like 30, 40 pounds for this. So I was like,
Nice.
yeah, that'll do. And I played it a few times. It's brilliant.
So with 5 discs, that's a truncated show then, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's just the first half. And
Yeah.
we'll bring out the second half later. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got like
Yeah. It's
It's
the
cool.
abbreviated show. So
That's right. Yeah.
yeah,
Go
there's
on.
like there's 2 tracks on each side.
Bruce
There
does
you go.
give you your money's worth, that's for certain.
So yeah, but a Bruce Springsteen. So there you go. So it'd be cool to show.
He's got there was that original one that came out, the original where it's just him on the black cover, the original live one that came out, the box set. Yeah, that one right there. That is such a great album. Again, really well done. It seemed like somebody knew back in the day, you know what, I should probably keep some of these great off the soundboard sounds for Bruce Springsteen. And at some point we're going to put out a live set of his stuff, because it's very well produced. And I'm assuming that it's the same thing, especially now with the new stuff. But yeah, because much like earlier where we talked about Kiss, a big part of Springsteen's appeal is that live show. You just made a joke of it, but you know, again, you get your money's worth when you go see a Bruce Springsteen show, right? And it's kind of like you want to go see Kiss. That's why Alive did what Alive did after the first 3 albums. Really didn't do a whole bunch.
And nowadays with ticket prices, you better be getting your money's worth.
Yeah, no kidding. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's an argument or not an argument, a discussion for the other day, because I think we're all on the same page.
It's not even an argument. It's obvious.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if it's ever going to fix itself. That's the problem. There's a couple of bands still that are kind of keeping it not insane, like Maiden. I think Maiden does a pretty good job of still, you know, they do the math and they go, okay, this is what we're going to charge you, and it's a fair price. But there's some of the
what I will say about Maiden, right? That Bruce Dickinson, he said, I don't want any rich people at my concerts. Nobody gets priority in the first rows. He said, I want to see people there who have scrambled to try and get money to come and watch us live. That's what it's all about for the fans. He said, I don't care about the rich. I thought that's cool.
Yeah. And you know, calling people up. He also does like and put your phones away too.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's my thing. They should at every show allow about 6 to 10 people in that arena allowed to film the show, and then they send that footage to one person to edit it down. It's like, here's the show that you were able to live in the moment. We have these handful of people filming it for you, and here's your souvenir.
Yeah.
You know?
You can click on the QR code that they sent you the tickets on, and you can just click on that and then download it from there. You can see it.
Well, like we went on Kiss earlier, speaking of Live 35, that tour, you were able to buy a CD of that show.
Yeah.
And you got the first disc that night. They were able to burn the first disc that night, and they have your address and all that information. And then they mail you the second disc later on.
Yep.
But that was what, 2009 that they did. So now, you know, and plus it's funny when I see professionally filmed concerts and I still see people with their phones up. I'm like, I wish they would announce at those shows, you know, hey, we're professionally filming this.
Yeah.
Put your phones away. Enjoy it. Live in the moment.
I think it's a given though to take a selfie.
Yeah.
It's a given.
And I'm one of those guys. I'll take like a 10, 20-second deal of a couple of songs along the way, just so I can make my little obligatory I was at this show post.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's the dudes that will sit there
Yeah.
and they're just,
Oh,
this is it, the whole show. Right. And I just don't get that. But
It's gone from cigarette lighters to mobile phones.
yeah.
So,
Yep.
just going back to Trevor real quick there. Went to the record store, obviously Saturday, saw that album there. I was going to pull the trigger, but then when I saw the Manics and the Black Crows, I was like,
Wait, which album?
the one you just shown, the live one, the Bruce one.
Oh, the Bruce one. Okay.
Yeah. I've been wanting to get it for a while, but
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can probably you
How much was that? Do you recall?
it was a first pressing. It was £90,
So that would be what, like
$120.
I bought that for $20
yeah, that's
last
kinda what
year.
That's what
I'll-
I'm selling it for.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll send you my address.
Because I mean, yeah, the box has some wear on it.
Yeah.
Because this was what 86 when this came 85, 86, 80, yeah, 86. So no one was talking about protecting boxes
Yeah.
at the time, but the discs in them,
Yeah,
they look like they were never played.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I mean, $20 was a steal on this.
yeah. I didn't. To be honest, I was more interested in the other two albums that I picked up because I wanted the
Yeah,
Manics and
of
the Black Crows. So I think Joe said to me a few months ago, the Black Crows album. I said, "Is it any good?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's really good. You should
I
go
like
check
it.
Yeah.
That Springsteen set, I think it was either the first or the second CD I ever bought. And I know it's 3 CDs, but it was either Springsteen or like most, it was Brothers in Arms. I can't remember which came first, or I might have bought them both on the same day. Bought the $1,000 CD player and then had to have something to listen to it. So I bought the Springsteen 3-disc set of that first live show thing, whatever you want to call it. And then Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms as well. So
Cool, very cool.
back in the day, a grand for a CD player.
Whose turn is it?
Trevor's.
Right, sorry, mate. I lost track completely. Then.
Well, I mean, we're still trying to, get from a shitty day, right? So
Yeah.
That's right.
we
Exactly.
can crack one open, and you got to have a good glass with it.
That's right.
Plug for my buddy Alex there, Beer Vinyl.
Where'd you get that?
I ordered it through beerandvinyl.com, I believe is the website. I could be incorrect, but cheers, folks.
Yeah, I'm on the squash tonight. I've got an early start.
I'm just coffee. So, but wait,
So-
here, I'll do this. There, I've got my coffee mug. I got my
There you
Tokyo
go.
Record style
There you
coffee
go.
mug.
There we go.
I don't want to put this anywhere. I just keep it and I just keep moving it around. So
So, known for making a big room feel like a house party, Boston band was welcomed in Detroit. They were like sons of Detroit, but probably the greatest live album, in my opinion, from 1976. The Jay Giles Band, Blow Your Face Out.
very nice.
Oh my God. This from top to bottom is just a phenomenal live record. Bunch of,
That's cool.
the film strips.
Yeah.
The first rock band I ever saw live, but several years later than this, because I was probably 5 or 6 when this came out.
Yeah.
And my parents probably wouldn't even know Jay Giles from JJ Walker at the time. So
Dynamite.
exactly. But yeah, it's just you get classics on here, especially from the Atlantic years. Their live versions were much more popular than the studio versions. So Must Have Got Lost, Detroit Breakdown, what's it? Give It to Me, House Party, or no, well, that's House Party that we know of is on Full House, but yeah, there's a few different live versions that were just great here. Recorded both in Detroit and Boston, so you get their two biggest crowds on this. Just phenomenal live band. I was fortunate to see him twice. My first rock concert in '82, and then they did a reunion in '99, and that was great. My best friend was able to score third row tickets, so we were like way up in front seeing them, and it was just awesome. So, I don't know, out in the UK, did these guys even make a dent that you know of? Or I know never heard of them. Oh my god.
And there's so many that just know Freeze Frame, and there is so much good stuff before that. Wow.
This is more of their blues infused rock and roll.
Okay, I knew this episode would cost me money. I fucking knew it was coming. Right, okay.
Well, I bought this down in Portland, Oregon a few years ago. Double disc. The jacket is in really good shape. The discs were unplayed, it looked like $6. So
you mentioned Full House. That's awesome. Bloodshot. Just, I mean, I like Love Stinks. I like all of that album as well. That was a little closer to the Freeze Frame time frame, obviously.
Yeah.
But, and I like Freeze Frame. I don't ever need to hear Freeze Frame or Centerfold again, but I like the rest of that album. I like a lot of the cuts off of there. Angel in Blue is a phenomenal song.
Yeah, it's a great record. Again, well, I like it a lot because that was the tour I saw him on. I was 11 years old, almost 12.
Yeah.
My uncle took me to see it. First time I ever smelled weed in my life.
Yeah.
But they played at, I've talked about this place a million times, Pine Knob Music Theater, the big outdoor shed, pavilion and lawn in the back, holds like 17,000. I lived 2 miles from the place. And this place, they did 5 or 6 shows for the J. Geils band.
Yeah.
Which is something unheard of. Now, a band playing 2 nights in a row is unheard of anymore. So the fact that they would come into town and play a week is crazy.
I mean, I can just imagine what some of the early, like when they were a little more house bandy or whatever, just how insane that would have been, how the energy that I think that they obviously brought later, what they would have had when they first started off. Just a very, I think, underrated, underappreciated band that not as many should know about, I think, anyway. So
right. Well, it's just like I mentioned that first time seeing them.
Yeah.
This was recorded at the shows I was at.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. So I didn't even know this was coming out when it did come out. When I heard about it, I'm like, oh, so my first concert is part of an album. What a souvenir that is.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, but yeah, it's let's see on here, maybe it's in the inner sleep, but
filmed or recorded partly.
Where's it at? Recorded at Pine Knob Music Theater. It says Detroit, but it's actually Clarkston. But
perfect. That's good.
Awesome.
There's Mike's comment that J. Geils may be more popular than Kiss in Detroit, and Kiss is pretty popular in Detroit, right?
That's very arguable. Yeah, Mike, true. But Kiss didn't come in for like a week. They would do maybe 2.
Yeah.
Well, especially mid 70s, they would do like 3 shows. I think was like the most. But yeah, J. Geils arguably were more popular.
Why have I never heard of this band? Like,
I don't know.
Well, you are going to get an education.
That's right. Yeah, just good. You probably should have a beer when you're listening to them, because I think that would go
help.
on hand.
Or a cocktail.
Yes.
If you want a beer, have a cocktail.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, give him a shot. I don't know where to start. Where should he start? I mean,
I would say the live albums, because I mean that's how I did it. Full House and Blow Your Face Out that I just showed. I honestly, this one I don't recommend. The red cover. It's not out of the 3 live albums. That's like the least.
Yeah.
Great. For me, it holds a special place because I was there.
Okay, Trevor, send me some links from Apple Music. I'll check it out.
I will.
I'm sure you will. Yeah.
You and I are going to be bombarding our text.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it was quite funny today because I was driving back with my parents because I sent a message to Joe to stuff to check out. How do you pronounce that?
How do you say that? I don't know, but it's good.
I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. But we will talk later about that. Joe, over to you, mate. What have you got?
So last one, probably by the look of the time frame. I got a whole bunch here. Okay,
we might do me and you do one, and then we'll do a fast track, I think.
Okay, we'll do that. All right. So let's do this then. I'll include the one I was going to do in the speed round. So I'm going to go with, as I lean off the camera, I'm going with Steve Earle and Copperhead Road. I love this album, and I love all of Steve Earle, right from the very start to the most recent. And I'm going to see him, and I'm going to go see him. He's just live acoustic hymn, 51 years of making music or whatever. I'm really, really looking forward to it because I love this when it's the full band and the whole Copperhead Road thing, and he's got, all of that going on. But I think Steve just by himself playing guitar, hopefully we get a little story action going on. I don't mind a little story action going on. I know he does that from time to time. So I'm really looking forward to that. But this is a phenomenal album. This I can put on and listen to start to finish. There's not a bad song on it. Again, I'm just a massive Steve Earle fan. I can put on a Steve Earle Spotify channel when I do, and it's just there's never a bad song. He's one of those guys, for me anyway, that if you like him, you just like it, and he doesn't stray. He does branch out a little bit, but he doesn't necessarily stray. But Copperhead Road obviously is the one that is probably overplayed. But like The Devil's Right Hand, and then he tells the story about where he got The Devil's Right Hand from and things like that. It's just really, really good. Johnny Come Lately has that little bit of. You mentioned Boston, like the Dropkick Murphys, where it's kind of got that Celtic sound to it a little bit. It's got the tin whistle in it, and when you see it live, it's just phenomenal. But yeah, Steve Earle and Copperhead Road, but really Steve Earle in general. This just happened to be the one that I pulled out. So
cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
you knew I was going to show it. It was in the freaking t-shirt.
Yeah,
I bought the bundle.
You got the bundled one? Yeah, that's good.
Even though they delivered it to the wrong freaking address.
What the hell?
Thank you. I don't know what is going on with these bands at the moment, because they say they send it. Usually it comes with DHL, or they'll come up with the post office will deliver it. This time they'd have an Amazon to deliver them. So they're shipping them from America to Amazon UK, and then Amazon UK are delivering it to us. And it didn't get to me. It was like 3 freaking streets over.
Yeah, just up the road. Yeah.
Anyway, I love this album. This is a complete album for me. I did say this 2 weeks ago. We had, I think, Mark Morris.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of fillers when it comes to the Foo Fighters. I always said in the past, if you want to get the Foo Fighters, get the greatest hits. But I do highly recommend this album. There's no gatefold. I thought it was gatefold.
He actually rips the jacket open.
Oh, look at this gatefold. Although there are some bands that are putting art inside, and I don't get that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like that. So
should I just rip it open and see what's inside?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
There's also a poster which I showed a few weeks ago. This came on silver vinyl. So that's the variant I went with. 30,000 variants to choose from.
Yeah.
I've discussed this before. Just stick to 3. But yeah, it's brilliant. Joe, give it a few more listens, mate.
Yeah, no, for sure. I didn't dislike it. It just didn't hit me instantaneously, but I've only listened to it once. I'm going to put it on, sit down, actually listen to it.
If I will say this, I did say this a few weeks ago. It's kind of like a live punk It sounds like a live punk
Yeah.
kind of with the microphone going on there. Yeah, I will
Yeah,
say
he
that.
did the whole like white limo
Hmm.
thing on several songs. I only listened to it maybe twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't grab me, but maybe it was just in that moment that just
I
maybe
don't know well it's sold, to be honest, because they're still advertising on Amazon every time I go on there for this album. So maybe it
Yeah.
didn't reach the fans as well as they thought it would. So
We had a little bit of call for it. They're out touring with it as well, so that always helps a little bit too. You go see something and it just jives a little bit more with you when you see it live. So we'll see. It's not gonna sell like the albums of the Foo's previous sold. It's not gonna do that, but it's still very solid. Like even the last one, right? So Here We Are. I think was it called So Here We Are? I believe the white covered one.
That was a great album.
Was good. Yeah, it was a very good album. But again, it took me a little bit of time to get to it. So
And that one didn't grab me. I think it maybe because it's the first one post Taylor.
Yeah.
And I know most drummers would probably want to punch me in the face, but it's just like usually the drummer isn't the one that's gonna want to keep it together. But it's just he was an integral part of that band.
Yeah,
And,
100%.
But I like anything, I'll give it a chance. I didn't say it was a bad album. It didn't grab me. So I'll give it another shot.
I will say this. If you're not a Foo Fighters fan, don't bother. It's gonna
it is one of the more abrasive albums. I'll give it that.
Maybe he's trying a different direction. I think.
Yeah. Well, when you get as far in as Dave Grohl is at this point, you do start to branch out a little bit, maybe, or try some different stuff. We'll see.
I still find it funny that people are still calling them like a newer band. I'm like, been around for 30 fucking years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, they're a new band.
Yeah.
But we're talking, people that older than Joe that will say, "Oh yeah, newer band." Like, no, they're not a newer band.
No, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
All right. Shall we speed round it?
Yeah, we'll do a fast track. Trevor, up to you. Show what you got left then, mate.
Okay. Most will probably never even heard of this band, but if you saw the movie Natural Born Killers, you have heard a song by them. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yes.
Forever ago, but yeah.
During the prison riot, I remember seeing this movie in the theater opening weekend, and me and my friend freaked out when we heard this guitar feedback and this bass line coming in. A song called Fork Boy by the band Lard.
Okay.
Now, Lard is basically Ministry with Jello Biafra from Dead Kennedys singing.
Okay.
So, again, shitty day. I want something that's just going to pummel me musically. This is the album. It's this industrial mixed with punk rock. Cool. And it's awesome. I love this album, top to bottom. Thankfully, this isn't like the CD where there's a track called I Am Your Clock, which is, it makes the slowest Black Sabbath song sound like a thrash song. It's so slow and it's so long, and it's the most annoying song ever. Thankfully, that is not on this record. So, but yeah, Lard, Last Temptation of Reed, which Reed is the owner of or was the owner of Chicago Tracks where this was recorded. So it's kind of a joke, but yeah. Lard. There we go.
I feel like I've seen the name before.
In the grocery store?
I feel like I've seen... Go on. I'll just leave now.
In the baking area?
Very nice.
Oh, God. Right. Trev, you got anything else left? Or
No, I think I pulled just the right amount.
Oh, well done, mate. See, Joey's organized.
He is. We love having Trevor on.
Yeah,
Trevor's
yeah.
always an awesome guest.
Thank
so, real quick, when you mentioned Natural Born Killers, it made me think of Juliette Lewis, and that made me think of the fact that she is on Broadway right now. She's Magenta in a revival of Rocky Horror Show, not picture show because it's on Broadway, so they just call it Rocky Horror Show. It's at Studio 54. They had a little bit of the cast on, I think Fallon or whatever they did Sweet Transvestite, but I can see her being Magenta. I think that would be really good. Rachel Dratch is the narrator, so for those of you that are in New York, I recommend going to see it. I won't be there, but I would go and see it if I was, because I've always been a Rocky Horror fan. So I think it'd be fun to go see. But yeah, Juliette, and she sounds pretty good too. I don't know if you've got any of her stuff or if you've listened to much of her band, and I can't remember what her band's called, but I like it.
Yeah. She actually played at a bar club in Detroit that a buddy of mine owns.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I like her. I mean, I think she's a great actress, but she's pretty decent as a musician as well. All right, let's roll through these just because if you've pulled them, you got to show them. So I think the criteria that I took is what is an album that I will just enjoy the whole damn thing solid all the way through. This one falls into that. We've talked about Alice earlier. This one is pretty glammy Alice Cooper, but then so is most of it. But I do like this. It had definitely the Desmond Child effect on it and things like that. But definitely. House of Fire, Poison, all that good stuff. Really good. I saw him on this tour as well. Was a really good production. Was great. I have always liked this album, Twisted Sister. It's just good. I like Twisted Sister in general. That's a great documentary. This is Twisted fucking Sister, I think. Yes. It's out there. It's still out there. It's like 4 hours long or something. It's ridiculously long, but it's pretty good. Back to their days, back in the bar scene, and really the one-hit wonder that they were, but 4 pretty solid albums. Dee Snider's a bit of a knob these days, but that's all right. We'll give him that. I couldn't pick a specific Maiden, so I just went with this, which is the best of, because I can just put on Iron Maiden and just enjoy it. It's always good. I don't necessarily have to pick a specific AC/DC, but this one's always fun. This one's, I'm so glad that this gets the recognition that it deserves, because it is so Bon Scott, tongue-in-cheek, phenomenal from that time frame, and it's just a really, really good album. It's on
is that the Australian cover?
No, the Australian is the one where it's got Bon and the tattoo.
Yeah, I actually played that album yesterday.
Yeah,
the one that you had, not the Australian one, but
yeah, it's just so good. I think the first 4 had the Australian covers and the North American covers. There's this little band, we've talked about them as well, and I know love or hate this album. I love this album. I've always enjoyed this album. I'm much like a David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar, Van Halen. I don't care. I just like it all. Metallica before the Black Album, after the Black Album. I like it all. Yeah. Anyway, and a band that is on my list to see still that I have not yet, that I would really like to. And I know you know these guys, Chris, but The Killers and Hot Fuss. This is a phenomenal album. Again, they don't stray too far. But I would like to see The Killers at some point. I would like to think I'll probably get the opportunity. And speaking of a bunch of shitheads nowadays, for the most part anyway, they always were, but I love this album, Dr. Feelgood. I mean, I like Shout, and I like, the earlier stuff. Theater of Pain, much like everybody else, is a little bit maligned, but still, this album is pretty damn solid. Bob Rock did a good job, and there is Tommy and Vince and crew and Mick. And, I wouldn't go see him now, not because I don't give a shit the shape that Vince Neil is in, but I want to see them. I want to hear the band. And I know I talked about going to see Kiss, and was Paul completely singing on that last tour? Who knows? There was some background filler going on. I think Gene was singing, but I did get a chance to see the Carnival of Sins tour with Crew, and that was pretty good because everybody was still pretty solid at that point. It was a great retrospect of their whole show. I saw them after that. It wasn't as good. I saw them before that. It wasn't as good. But the Carnival of Sins tour was pretty good. They brought the bikes on stage for Girls, Girls, Girls. They had, all the shit going on. Tommy was Tommy. It was a very good show. I'm glad I got to see that one, because the other 2 shows, if that's all I would have ever seen of Motley Crue, I might have been a little less impressed, but that tour was very good. So there you go. Those are all albums that I can put on and listen start to finish, and they'll make my day a little bit brighter.
I've got a Motley Crue album, actually.
You do you? Which one?
Have a guess.
The greatest hits, possibly, right?
There you go.
Yes. And maybe that's all you need. I don't know. This album is solid all the way through. Again, Theater of Pain, much like everybody else, you can kind of take or leave. Smoking in the Boys' Room, things like that. But Shout at the Devil, obviously, that's a great album. They're all okay, but if you made me pick, which I just did, that's my favorite Motley Crue album. So
Cool. Okay, let's get through some rock, some greatest hits, and a reprise. Okay, Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. Went with that one. Pretty
Yep.
cool on black vinyl. So really happy with that. Gotta try and pick up some more Meatloaf. Can't find them in the wild. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Greatest hits for you. The story so far. This is Def Leppard with all their hits. Yeah, so I've started collecting Def Leppard, so we are getting there. I'm going to piss off a lot of people here on a greatest hits, but this is all I need from this band. It's Guns N' Roses. Greatest hits. This is a very limited edition pressing. So it's quite cool. I'll show you this. So
nice.
that's different.
you know I'm a sucker when it comes to splattered and coloured vinyl. So there you go. Can't get it back in the sleeve. Fuck it. I'll do it later.
There you go.
John Fogerty reprise, Creedence Clearwater Revival. This is what the album would have sounded like if he did it on his own. I swear to God, you're listening to Creedence. I can't tell the difference.
Didn't change it a whole bunch, no?
No.
He's great live. Well, he was great live 10 years ago. I'm sure he probably still is okay, but yeah.
Yeah. You try and find the vinyl. So give on a cool kind of pressing.
Nice.
Nice. Awesome.
There's that one. And to finish off, I know we showed this earlier on, but I'm a big, massive fan of this band. Thanks to Joe, and it's the Black Tea. So there you go.
I know we keep going on about that as we all sit here with and I've got my t-shirt on, but really, really just great, good new band.
Yeah.
So
I hope they make it down here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That'd be great. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they could open for a lot of people and get in front of a lot of faces and a lot of ears and do something. I think it's just, they just got to get on the right tour. And I don't know who that is, but if they went out with the Black Crowes or someone, maybe.
Well, that's the thing. I was just thinking, well, not so much Black Crowes, but I mean, I was thinking like Blackberry Smoke or
Sure. Yeah.
But then I'm like, do we want two, bands with black in the
Yeah, exactly. It's the Black Tour. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, if they got on with, even if they went out with like the Dirty Knobs, if Mike took and went and did some stuff, like there's some bands that they could go out there and mesh with nicely, I think. So
are they doing like headline club gigs?
They are. Yes.
Are they opening? Are they on a tour with a band right now?
They're doing some shows of their own, and then there's always, and I'm not sure if it happens there or not, but there's always like a little Canadian festival series. Like we have one here called Shake the Lake, where it's normally a bunch of, well, it's kind of grown from 80s bands into 90s bands, and so they're part of that. Where so they're the first band up in the lineup of them, and then say like an Econoline Crush and a Headstones and that, which I don't know how much that means to anybody, or an Our Lady Peace or things like that. So they're doing a bunch of that, and then again they're doing some of their own shows in maybe 500 seaters, things like that, or larger bars even.
Okay.
There's a place here called the Exchange, which probably holds 500-ish, but you're packed in there at that, and they're doing that. So yeah, I mean, they're getting out there and they're playing. I think they're still all working full-time jobs as well. It seems like it, and for now anyway. But you got to do that, I guess, a little bit for now. So
quickly before we go, Joe, do you want to promote the quiz you got going on?
Oh, yeah, sure. Here, what the hell? I'll do this because it's quick. Where is it? I'll play this. Where to?
Yeah. Oh, it's a tricky one. Right. One hit wonders in picture form for 400, please.
Okay. Again, you can answer this as soon as you see it. It's going to be a visual description of a one-hit wonder song. Here we go. Chris.
And
Does
have
he
to
get it right though? So yeah, we've got a former champion with us too, up in the top. I never know if it's left or right. Trevor, anyway, as part of the Tournament of Champions already. Well, the Tournament of Champions that's coming. So yeah, it was a good episode. We taped it. Jesus, showing my age. We recorded it, filmed it, whatever you want to call it, yesterday. It's good. It's close. It's a good game. It's Chris and Christian from the Vinyl Sanctuary and Scott of DJ Vinyl Vertigo. So it's a good episode. So it'll be out tomorrow night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Scott's a good guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah, Scott's a good dude for sure. Yep.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun actually. We had quite a good laugh, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yes. I forgot to throw it in. I like to throw it in every time Scott is on something that we're on. He actually punched Bruce Springsteen in the arm at one point. So I don't know if you know that whole story, but
I've heard him tell that tale.
Yeah, I forgot I was gonna get him to tell it. But anyway, so the next time he's on with us, then we'll get him to tell his punching Bruce Springsteen story. In the arm, not in the face.
We gotta schedule out this tournament.
Yeah, I need someone new wins tomorrow night. I'm not saying who. And then I need one more episode. So I'm going to try and find 3 people who have not won yet to guarantee one more. Then I've got 9. Then I'll do the bracket and we'll go, because that way I can do 3 sets of 3, which will then get us to a final. So I need to get one more episode. I've got a couple of feelers out there. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know you guys have been on and we've talked about this. I think it's fun. I think it's kind of interesting to be on. It's something a little different. But it's pulling teeth to find people. So, but it is what it is.
Cool.
I had a blast, the 2 episodes that we shot.
Yes, you did. Yes, funny enough, you did. Yeah.
So if you're out there and you're watching this and you want to be on, get a hold of me. Find me somewhere.
What's the email address?
Yeah, the email is theracerreport@gmail.com. Or if you go to my channel, watch any of the episodes, leave it in a comment. Leave it in a comment watching this, whatever. So I've got a couple of requests out there from some people. I've got a couple of, I'll get to it. So hopefully it's actually tough to schedule 4 adults to get together at the same time, which you learned when we were trying to do ours. I think we rescheduled that thing like 4 or 5 times between the 4 of us. So
yeah. Well, especially if it's global.
Yes.
Tough.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we'll get there. So, and then the tournament will start shortly after. Well, whenever we'll figure it out. I just need to get 3 more people that have not won yet. I want to get Mark back on, Morris, because he's a blast. He's fun, and then I don't know who wins tomorrow. I'm not giving that up right now. So,
I'll give you a clue. Somebody won.
Somebody won.
Yeah, it was a tie. Thank you for everybody for watching. Thanks for my guests tonight, Joe, as usual. Always amazing to have you on, mate.
Thank you,
Trevor. Thank you so much for jumping on. I know the time differences is freaking stupid.
It's noon. It started at noon for me, so
yeah. Okay.
it's all good.
I will put a description down below for Trevor's channel and for Joe's channel. Go and check them out. I'm just going to say this. If you are going to do Trevor's competition, you need to be subscribed and it needs to be a video. Do not leave comments underneath.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah, what someone said, I wasn't like trying to be in the contest. I just wanted to. I'm like, okay. Yeah, but I was trying to. This is going to sound worse than what I actually mean it to be. It sounded like someone trying to weasel in on the contest and stuff.
Yeah.
I have one in text, but we talked about it earlier. He has a channel, but he's still trying to get the comfortability of being on camera.
Yeah.
So, and we've known each other for a couple years through Facebook. So
Cool.
let it slide.
Thank you for everybody in the chat this evening. Everybody's going to watch this later. We will be back next week with another guest and probably another theme. So bear with us and we'll try and sort something out for you. If anybody wants to be on a live stream with me and Joe, You can email Joe if you like, the racerreport@gmail.com, and we're going to get you on. So, yeah. Thank you, Trevor. Been amazing, mate.
Thank you.
Really do appreciate it, mate. From Trevor, from Joe, and myself, hope you have a good evening, good afternoon, good night, and we'll speak to you soon. So thanks for watching. Cheers.
See ya.